16 Facts for 16 Days, a legal vidcast powered by the Fight for Good Foundation and the SSCN. I'm Nicole Bessick, and during this 4-part series, I'll sit down with some of the country's most sought-after attorneys and legal experts who specialize in GBV litigation and the protection of women and children. Each episode has an overarching theme. We're talking how to obtain a restraining order, how to report a sexual assault. And together, these attorneys and I will unpack 4 facts that will take you from crime to legal relief that you can apply without a lawyer and without access to exuberant funds. These 4 episodes each part ways with 4 key legal facts for women experiencing GBV. 4 facts times 4 episodes gives you 16, and thus we have our love letter to the women of South Africa. The 16 facts for 16 days. In today's episode, we're discussing 4 facts on how to report a sexual assault. And these facts will take you from crime to legal relief without a lawyer and without access to exuberant funds. Welcome to it. You're tuned into 16 Facts for 16 Days, and this is 4 facts on how to report a sexual assault. Joining me in studio at the beautiful Dreambox is Mikayla Barter, an associate at Barter McKellar with an impressive track record in criminal law and matters pertaining to sexual assault. Mikayla, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So, for those of us who may not be familiar with your work, tell us, why are you the perfect fit to sit next to me today and chat a bit about sexual assault?
So I have quite a bit of experience in criminal law, pertaining mainly to protection orders. I've represented many women with regards to sexual assault matters. And I also do it because it is a hot topic in South Africa at this point in time. It is a problem around the world. And it is something that I really believe in, and it is one of the reasons why I actually studied law.
So the topic of sexual assault needs absolutely no introduction, especially in a country like South Africa. We've been referred to quite literally as the rape capital of the world, and each and every year these numbers seem to rise. So we're going to jump straight in. I want to talk a bit about what qualifies as sexual assault, because it's not just rape. So according to the law, what are the acts or the activities and the behaviors that qualify as sexual assault?
There are many acts. There is inappropriate touching, there's molestation, there is entering of any orifice with an object or with somebody else's body parts that can be considered sexual assault. So by saying that it's not just that it's only rape, it is incorrect. Of course, rape is one of the most predominant and overarching aspects that we do deal with in law, and there are many unwanted advances that actually happen in both home environments and outside of the home that qualify as sexual assault.
Okay, so now if I'm tuned into this and one of those actions or behaviors or assaults have been done to me, when do I report it?
So the optimal time is 72 hours. However, there is actually no time limit.
So you're saying that if I experience sexual assault, there's no time lapse on when I can, report this incident. So I could report it tomorrow, in a year, in 5 years, the claim is still valid?
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing that it obviously limits is the amount of evidence available when you want to prosecute the accused.
So that 72-hour is the optimal time to sort of report that out. Okay, cool, great. So let's say I'm in that 72 hours. And the sexual assault has happened. So medically, there are bits and pieces on my body that would serve as evidence for that claim. Where do I report it?
So we start by saying, please go to your nearest police station, either where the sexual assault has occurred or your nearest, closest to home police station.
Perfect. And when I go into this police station, who do I need to see and what are the forms I need to get?
So we go in, you're going to get to the main desk, and they call them the first officers. They're the first person to hear that you have an assault case, sexual assault case, and they will then take you to a quieter room to be able to have an investigating officer come and get your statements.
All right. And once I'm in this office, what are some of the forms that I can expect to have completed?
So before you give your official statement, they're going to ask you to the officer will fill in for you something called a J88 form.
So we did discuss the J88 in episode 1. And if you're just tuning in, what we're doing as we go along these episodes, we put links to these forms so that you can go and grab those if you need them. So that's a J88 form.
Yes.
What do we couple that with?
So we couple it with a SAP 308 form. So with those two forms, they're both completed by your first officers. And what will happen is basically it's just giving you consent. Mm-hmm. You give your consent to have a medical examination done by a qualified medical practitioner at an accredited healthcare facility.
Right. So what are some of the important things to remember when you are a woman and you are making this report? What are some of the things around the doctor and the patient and the woman? Tell me everything.
So the key that we always tell our clients is to make sure that if you're a woman, that you have a female officer present mm-hmm. and a female medical practitioner. You are allowed to say if you're not comfortable with somebody performing the medical examination, especially when you're taking sample testings from yourself. 100%. Got it.
So I'm a woman over the age of 18 and I've experienced sexual assault. I've got my J88. I've got my SAP 308. If I'm a woman under the age of 18, so if I'm a minor, will that suffice? Do I need anything else?
That's a really good question, and a lot of people don't actually know that you actually have to have somebody over the age of 18 to accompany a minor.
Okay, it doesn't have to be your parents, it can be just anyone over the age.
Anybody over the age of 18 mm-hmm. to make sure that the minor child is in a safe environment right. and is able to give the statements to the best of their abilities.
Okay. When I think about women over the age of 18 who are experiencing gender-based violence and sexual assault and a minor who's under the age of 18, both of those individuals sound like they're most likely to be controlled or trapped or in the house or in spaces where they can't get to a police station.
Yes.
What happens in the instances where I can't get to the police station? How do I then report it?
So luckily for us in South Africa, we have a number that we're allowed to phone. Mm-hmm. Our police services is 10-111. What we tell the little children is, this is the symbol to remember the number. Mm-hmm. So when we have those calls coming in, our police are very good in this. We call it the golden hour. We make sure that, to the best of our abilities, that the police services are able to come within an hour.
Oh, wow. So they will come to where you are after that phone call is made within an hour to assist you and start the process from there.
Yes, and the nice thing is, and it is reassuring, is that the police won't put the phone down on you.
Oh, they're not allowed to put the phone down on you?
They will keep in contact with you until a patrol car arrives at the premises.
At the destination. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I've gone ahead and reported the sexual assault. Now what's going to happen is a considerable amount of time is going to exist between the time that I've reported this matter and the moment that the perpetrator is brought to justice.
Sure.
What do I do if, after I've reported this crime, I don't feel safe? This could happen to me again. This person is still out there running around. What can be done if I don't feel safe?
So there are a lot of options. One being a protection order. We also have women's safe houses. So if you don't feel safe and you need a place to stay, you're in a violent situation mm-hmm. where the home is no longer conducive to your well-being.
Right.
You have the opportunity to say to the police officers that you would be preferred to be put into a women's safe house. So the police do have access to these women's safe houses mm-hmm. Around the country.
At these safe houses, we are aware that the addresses are available.
Yeah.
Are these safe houses well secured?
Yes, 100%. Okay. They have security, mm-hmm. and it is a safe house for a reason. It's a safe environment for women to be in.
What happens if I need to go to a safe house but I have children? Can they come along?
Of course they can. Women and children are both included into women's safe houses. Mm-hmm. So you can go with a mother if a mother's been in a sexual assault situation, right. or even if the child's been in a sexual assault situation. If the home environment is no longer safe, the women's shelters are available.
Right. So I want to bring it back to children and minors who are experiencing sexual assault. Your firm has been doing incredible work with the Children Protection Hotline. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. So Child Protection Hotline is for minors to phone in or somebody who has been privy to a minor being in a situation that is not safe.
Right.
These specialized units are area specific, but they are your first responders to these situations. They work together, the police and these specialized units,
right,
to make sure that the children are safe and removed from the situation.
Wow, and it's as simple as that. That was 4 facts on how to report sexual assault. Thank you so much, Mikayla, for joining us today and for everything you're doing to end the war against GBV.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. If you feel protected and supported by this episode or know of someone who might be, go ahead and share it on your social media platforms. All links to the materials discussed today will be made available for free download. On the next episode, we discuss 4 facts on how to get out. Until then, I'm Nicole Bessick, and this was 16 Facts for 16 Days, powered by the Fight for Good Foundation and the SSCN.